Hey, everybody. So, are you looking to fine tune your carnivore diet this month? Maybe you're wondering what tweaks can help break a stall, improve energy, or just keep things exciting. Well, tonight I'm sharing exactly what I'm doing for the month of February on my carnivore journey. What's staying, what's changing, and why. So, whether you're just starting or a seasoned carnivore, you don't want to miss this episode. I want to encourage you to go ahead and like this video, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to another episode of CarnivorousGrama Speaks. My name is Robin, and I have been on a carnivore diet for 717 days or 22 months and 2 weeks, so almost 2 years. And every month has brought new lessons, every month has brought new challenges, and every month has brought ways for me to fine tune what works best for me. My friend Denitra says, find your formula. So I am finding the formula that works for me as far as my carnivore way of eating is concerned. So tonight, I'm giving you guys a look at my February game plan for my carnivore way of eating. I'm talking about the 5 things that I'm doing this month to lose weight this month. So I'm talking about food choices, I'm talking about meal timing, I'm talking about adjustments that I'm doing from last month to this month, and some of the biggest challenges that I anticipate on how I plan to stay on track in the month of February. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here. I see Michael Nelson asking about the lion diet, and we can definitely talk about that. So, again, I'm just going to give you guys a quick recap of what happened in January. It was so amazing. In the month of January, I started out the month with a fast. I did a 3-day water fast. January is a spiritual fasting month for my church and for a lot of different churches, of course. And so I spent the month of January doing fasts. So I was doing from between 16 to 24 or more hours of fasting every day. And my goal was to do only OMADs in the month of January. I did probably 98% OMAD in the month of January. And then there were a couple of days where I had 2 meals. And I totally eliminated dairy. So I did not allow any cheese or any heavy cream during the month of January. Twice I had sour cream. So, I really tried to eliminate the dairy. I minimized the butter and I use ghee. So I make my own ghee. We can talk about that in a little while about how I make that. And I lost 9 pounds. And so if you guys know, like, if you've been watching my channel, figuring out the formula for weight loss has been a challenge for me. And I lost 20 pounds in the first 3 months on carnivore, and then I basically maintained around that weight for the rest of this time until we get to like almost 2 years. And I want to lose a little bit more weight because I know that I have fat on my body, so I know I have some more weight to lose. So just trying to figure out what kind of tweaks I can do. I've done a lot of different things over the course of this past year, but in January, I think I found the right formula. So, welcome, Michael. And I want to just address your question. So, as far as the lion diet, so for anybody who doesn't know what the lion diet is, and Michael, you can tell me if this is exactly what you're doing. It is eating ruminant meats only. So basically, lion is like ruminant meat, salt, and water only. Some people don't even use the salt. Some people just use the meat and the water only. So there's no chicken, there's no pork, there's none of the other meats, there's no seafood included on lion diet. It is completely ruminant meat. So when I say ruminant meat, I'm talking about animals that chew the cud. And so we're talking about cows, sheep, goats, those kinds of animals and that have multi-chamber stomach. So what they do is they basically process that food through their multi-chambers of the stomach, and they put out something that's so healthy for us. Like when they do that, they get rid of all of the issues that we would have with the plants if we ate them. And so that is what a lion diet is. And I did lion diet one time, Michael. So thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. I did the lion diet one time as purely lion. That was about a year ago because I did it for the month of February 2024. And I felt okay on lion diet for the first 2 weeks. After 2 weeks on lion diet, I started to feel less and less well. And so I was thinking, I wasn't sure if this was really a mental issue for me. Like, I just couldn't imagine being this restrictive, or if I really was sick. I ended up breaking that lion diet after 2 weeks because I just felt less well. I broke it with pork and immediately felt better. So I have not tried lion diet again yet, Michael, but that doesn't mean that I won't try it again in the future. I just have not gotten back around to it. Now, I did do sea lion, which sea lion is all the ruminant stuff I just talked about plus seafood. And I felt pretty good on sea lion. I did that. I've done that twice for a month each time. But the thing of it is, even on lion diet and on sea lion, I did not really lose weight. So here's my problem, I believe. And I believe that because of the condition of my metabolism, my metabolic state, that I can eat a lot of food before I feel comfortably stuffed. So basically, Dr. Berry says, eat until you're comfortably stuffed. Well, I've been doing diets since the age of 11, and I've totally jacked up my stomach. My hormones don't tell me at the right timing when I'm comfortably stuffed. I need to be all the way full to be in order to be satisfied. So I feel like I can eat too much at a sitting, and I felt like I was over consuming. And so I wanted to incorporate OMADs and some intermittent fasting in order to see if I would be able to initiate weight loss. And I've done a variety of different things. Like I did the lean days. I did the stick of butter a day challenge, increasing the butter. I'm not able to eat butter like that. I just cannot because I have an autoimmune. And when I overconsume butter with the milk solids, it causes problems for me for my eczema. So that is one thing. So, hey, country girl, welcome. So glad that you're here. Drop your name in the chat so I can know what your first name is. Country Girl says, I tried lion diet. It was too restrictive for me. Both G Brown and I tried the lion diet and found that it was too restrictive. I think she did the whole month, but I was only able to make it through 2 weeks. So let's talk a little bit about the 5 things. I want to just give you guys the list of the 5 things, and then we're going to kind of go into, talking about it a little bit. So again, I've been carnivore for 22 months and 2 weeks, so almost 2 years. And the 5 things that I'm going to do this month to continue with my weight loss journey is fasting. Number 1 is fasting. Number 2 are the OMADs. Number 3 is low to no dairy. Number 4 is my walking challenge. And number 5 is working on my stress level, working on that cortisol by, trying to get better sleep and reducing stress. So those are the 5 things, and we're going to talk about those through the course of this evening. All right. So again, we talked about what I did in January. So the adjustments that I'm making from a fasting perspective. So I'm using an app. It's called Zero, the Zero app. And it is the app that is tracking my fasting. So if you see my videos, my videos, especially the shorts, will start with this little green screenshot that says I'm breaking my fast after so many hours. That's the Zero app, and it tracks how long have you been fasting. The really nice thing about Zero, and I know that there are other ones out there that do a similar thing, Zero is, it does have a paid version, but you can fast for free. So you just download the app to your phone, and then you start fasting for whatever length of time it is that you're planning to do your fast. So for me, I'm trying to do between 16, I usually do 17 or more, to 24-hour fasts. That means I'm breaking my fast all different times of the day, depending on when I finished eating or when I ate. I'm also trying to keep my eating window really short. So a lot of days I will eat all of my food within like 1 hour, but my goal is to keep it within a 4-hour window. So I'm basically doing a 24 eating window and fasting schedule. And so Calpurnia, Calpurina, tell me if I got that right. Nice to meet you, Calpurina. I love your name. It's beautiful. So that fasting 16 to 24 hours means that overall, my overall consumption is less. So when I was doing 2 meals a day, basically the entire time that I've been on carnivore, I was doing 2 meals a day. That really was working for me. I mean, I feel great on 2 meals a day, but I knew that I was over consuming because I've got fat on my body that needs to come off. So how am I going to get it off? And I felt like reducing my overall consumption would really help with that. And it did. So I'm continuing on this month. If you guys are interested in a couple of really great books that I would recommend, Dr. Jason Fung has 2 books that are out, and I know that there are a lot of people out here talking about fasting. Dr. Jason Fung was the very first person I ever heard talking about fasting and not, starving, like reducing our time of eating and allowing the body a rest from digesting, right? So he's the one that I recommend. He's the guru on it. And so the first book is called The Ultimate Guide to Fasting. And that book is really, really excellent. It's been excellent. It's been a few years since I read it, but it's a very, very good book. And if you're interested in learning about fasting, I would recommend that. The second book by Dr. Jason Fung is called The Obesity Code. And that is a really, really good book. Excellent book. Highly, highly recommend it. So check those 2 books out if you're interested in learning more about fasting. So I'm doing intermittent fasting. So that means that I'm fasting from, eating, but I'm eating pretty much every day. There is an extension to that I can do that, eventually I may do. And so in Dr. Jason Fung's group, which is called the Fasting Network. I can't remember. I'll try to make sure to put it in the description box down below. Dr. Jason Fung's Facebook group. They used to put out these different programs for fasting, and particularly for women. A lot of times we have done a lot of dieting, trying to keep that weight down or drive that weight down. And so what they say is oftentimes women will need to fast 36 hours, 42 hours, a couple of times a week. So if it comes to that, I will let you guys know. But right now I'm doing the OMADs and I'm fasting up to around 24 hours in a day. I like to eat in the morning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about OMAD. So the OMAD is a 1 meal a day protocol, right? So if you're doing 1 meal a day or keeping your eating window short, then you're eating all of your food within that time frame. So if it's like a 1 hour time frame or a 4 hour time frame, you're going to eat everything that you're going to eat during that time. And so that is what I'm doing. I know I have friends that do OMAD every single day. They do fine on it. So here's the thing, the challenge that I find with the carnivore community in many ways is that there's somebody who's going to tell you to do things one way or another way, and they're going to be opposites, right? So that is why my friend Denitra says you have to find your formula. What is going to work for you? And so that's the thing. You know, you may hear people say, OMADs are not good. You need to eat multiple times a day. You need to rev up your metabolism by eating breakfast first thing in the morning. You need to eat within 30 minutes of waking up. There's somebody out here who's going to tell you every single thing that you should do to lose weight, to be on the way of eating that you're on, whether it's carnivore, keto, ketovore. There's going to be somebody that can tell you the opposite thing of everything. Some people are going to say, well, women shouldn't fast. Well, I'm doing fasting and it's working fine for me. So that's part of my formula. So the OMAD really works for me. And when I say OMAD, I'm doing all of my eating within a very short window. So generally 1 hour to 4 hours. And I have to be honest that when I turn my fasting app back on, that's my indicator, like you're done eating for the day. So you're not having anything else. So if you just ate your one meal and now you're done eating, turn the fasting app back on and you fast for another 18 to 24 hours. And so that really, really works for me. Having that fasting app is kind of like, it is a coach for me, I guess I would say, because it allows me to know, okay, you turned your fasting app on. So that means you're done eating. All right. So Calpurnia, I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. I do intermittent fasting, 16-8 and 18-6. So you're fasting for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours and then you're done. Same thing with 18. So you can do 18 hours and 6. My mom is actually doing, I believe, 18-6 right now, and it's really working for her. For me, I need to do it a little bit longer. I need to fast a little bit longer. And I find that for the most part, I'm less hungry. Now, I'll tell you when I'm more hungry. If I eat late, let's say I eat past 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I'm eating at 9 o'clock. In the morning when I wake up, I'm guaranteed that I'm going to be hungry and I'm going to want to eat first thing in the morning. So that is a problem for me. So I try to eat my food early. I was saying that. I try to eat my one meal between 11 o'clock and 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Here's the thing about it. If I eat between 11 and 3, I can easily fast until the next day. No problem. I can skip dinner, skip the dinner time, the dinner hour, right? When we would typically be eating dinner, I can skip that. And I've already told my husband, like, yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm eating, at a certain time. I'm not going to be eating at the dinner hour. So if dinner is at 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock, I'm typically not going to be eating that late. So that really, really works for me. And I think that's a trick for fasting. If you want to do, the one meal a day or whatever your short eating window is, if you eat earlier, it's easier to fast through that dinner hour, I find. So, maybe try it out. Let me know if it works for you, and see if maybe skipping dinner is better. Eating that big meal earlier in the day, it really, really works for me. So hi, Mary. I'm so glad that you're here. Mary at Greek Carnivore. So glad that you're here. Congratulations on your weight loss. Thank you so much, Mary. I definitely appreciate that. It's been a while trying to figure out how to get this weight to come off. How am I going to release this fat off of my body? And so this is what I'm really, really excited about. And so we're going to see how February plays out. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what has been happening with February in a little bit. Okay. And Calpurina is saying, I will be doing OMAD starting next month. So try this. Try eating your meal earlier and then fasting through the dinner hour. I feel like that really, really works if it's possible for you. I know everybody's schedule is not the same. I work from home, so it makes it easier for me to go upstairs and just fix a meal and eat it. Sometimes I'll put something in the crock pot at night. Like if I want to do a chuck roast, I'll put the crock pot at night. In the morning, it's ready. So when I'm ready to break my fast at 11 or 12 o'clock, that food's already ready and doesn't need to cook for the whole rest of the day. So Cat Diamond is here. Hey, Cat Diamond. I'm so glad to see you. With working, it's too hard to eat the larger meal early. Yeah. So do you have a lunch break? I mean, are you able to eat your large meal at lunch? So I think if I was going into the office, I probably would take a big meal. I would eat like, something big and then eat a small meal at the dinner hour. So I would make my lunch meal bigger, and then the dinner meal really small, because I feel like for me, as part of my formula, eating late doesn't work. I'm hungry in the morning. I'm like, why am I ravenous? Well, because I ate at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. And so we do eat early. I was telling my husband, like, we're old people now because I'm fixing dinner so we can eat by 4. 4 or 5 o'clock. And it is what it is. I want to eat early. So that's the way I do it. All right. So as far as, the OMAD and like, what am I eating as far as macros are concerned, I am trying to do a little bit of tracking because I want to know what my consumption is, more so than I want to like tweak my macros right now. I want to just know what is it that I'm consuming. So I'm not really focused on trying to figure out, is it, how many grams of fat versus grams of protein. I know I have 4 carbs a day because I do the Keto Brains nootropic. And so that has 4 carbs. So that's a 4 carb hit every single day, if I use my Keto Brains every day, which I do during the week, definitely. So I'm doing that tracking just to kind of see. It's one of the things that I wanted to implement for the month of February is tracking to see how is my consumption. Am I doing a 50-50 from fat to protein ratio? I know that I'm not eating like 80 or 90% fat like a lot of carnivores do. And I cannot eat the butter. That stick of butter challenge showed me so many things. I did 2 months of stick of butter challenge because Butter Bob Briggs, who was an OG, he was doing the stick of butter a day challenge 10 years ago. And he was like, stick of butter a day will make your pants fall off. So I wanted to find out, is that really true? And for me, it was not. The butter caused inflammation for me. It caused my eczema to flare up. And so I cannot eat butter like that. But what I can do is do some like fat trimmings. So when I do incorporate some of the brisket fat trimmings, I get my brisket fat from my my stepdad, he's a brisket master. And so I'll get some of that from him. So I got a whole bunch of that in the freezer. Sometimes I'll add that to my meal. And I feel like when I add the fat trimmings, that really does help with weight loss. So, but I don't do it every day. So, figuring out how much fat to protein am I eating? And it really is around 50-50, from what I've been noticing so far. We already talked about OMAD versus TMAD. My plan is to do OMADs for most of the month. I do not have a plan to do any TMADs, but I know that there's a possibility that I may do that. Like tomorrow is church. They have a coffee bar at church and they have boiled eggs. So if I'm up in the morning and I'm like, I want to eat something, I would eat the boiled egg. That would make that a TMAD day for me. So, yeah. So Calparina is saying, I'm going to try to say your name every time I bring this up. I tried the stick of butter a day. I gained weight, so I stopped after 2. Smart girl. That's what I should have done. But I said, I want to make sure that I give it a good go, give it a good try and see if, you know, I wanted to give it 2 months, and I did, and I gained 10 pounds. I gained 10 pounds in that first month, so that was a bad idea. Didn't work for me. So additions and eliminations. So I mentioned that I'm going to do low to no dairy. Immediately when February came in, I had to bring back cheese. I was planning on it. I knew I would bring it back. I'm like, I'm having pizza on February 1st, period. I'm having pizza on February 1st. And so I did. First of all, I ordered the pizza bowl, and I had to fight for the pizza bowl because it was like the restaurant that we ordered from. They didn't understand what my husband was asking for. I wasn't there to order it for myself, and they sent me a grinder. So I'm looking at this bowl going, what in the world is this? That's not even mozzarella cheese on top. So anyway, I had to fight. I had to go back up there, get another one. I ate the whole thing. It wasn't even good, you guys. It was not worth it. Not worth it. Do you hear me? It was not worth it. And it caused my eczema to flare up. So that really sucked. So if you guys saw my video about cravings, the other day I was out at dinner and I ordered a cheeseburger that had 3 slices of cheese on it. So we know that cheese can be super duper addictive, right? And so I'm going to reduce that. I'm not planning on having cheese anymore for the month of February. Cheese does not serve me. It really doesn't, but I just love it. It's so good. I love a lot of different kinds of cheeses. But one thing I can tell you is that back when I was on keto for 5 years straight. And then I fell off, and then I was on Cheeto for another 5 years. But basically, I realized that I had an issue with mozzarella cheese when we were doing the chaffles. You guys remember chaffles? So chaffle is like an egg and a half a cup of cheese, maybe a little almond flour or coconut flour. And I was having all kinds of issues with my skin when I was eating that. So back when I was eating that, I realized that I had an issue with mozzarella cheese, and that I can't just consume it like in abundance like that. I mean, I could have it once in a blue moon, but I can't just like eat chaffles every day and think I'm going to be okay because the cheese is too much dairy for me. So I had that. I had the cheeseburger. I'm going to tell you guys about this burger though, because that burger was so good. It was like a burger cordon bleu. It had ham in the middle, and it had Swiss cheese. Then it had pepper jack cheese, and it had cheddar cheese on it. It was so good. I was like, I really need to make this at home. the burger cordon bleu with the ham and the Swiss. It was excellent. And I know I could easily make that at home, but right now I'm going to just back off on the cheese. My friend G told me, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't eat the cheese. But I was insistent on that I'm going to have cheese on February 1st. And so I did. And I paid the price. I paid the price because my eczema does not like dairy. I hate that. I really do. Because I like dairy. I like heavy cream. It's so good. It's so delicious. I can't have heavy cream in my coffee very often. I can't have the butter. I mean, all of those things. I feel like sour cream has not affected me yet. I've not really found that there's been an effect with that. So I may keep in the sour cream, but I'm going to really, really minimize the cheese this month. So that's something that I'm definitely, I feel like I need to keep it out. It does cause inflammation. I had a stuffy nose after I had that mozzarella, and then I had congestion, I had a headache. I'm like, okay, so this stuff is really not serving me. It's not doing great for me. So I'm definitely going to try to stay away from that. All right. So I started no dairy except for butter on February 1st. Good job. Good job. First thing everyone mentioned for the Super Bowl party, pizza. Yep. Yep. My mom is bringing to the Super Bowl party buffalo chicken dip. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know. I'm hoping that my stepdad brings some meat. Like, bring some meat, please. Bring some brisket. Bring some chicken wings. Bring something that I can eat because I probably just need to stay away. I love the buffalo chicken dip, and especially with pork rinds. Ah, so, so good. And then you're saying here that I could do a poffle. That's true. The pork panko poffle also is another option, and tried I haven't tried that recently. Back when I was on keto, I did all the poffle, chaffle, waffle, everything. I did them all, but I have to try the poffle again and see if it's something that I would like to, incorporate. I try to stay away from even the pork rinds too much. I eat them every now and then, and I did find a really nice clean one that I like. It's called by a company called Rib Rack. I'm here in Michigan, so I don't know where you guys are all located, but it's called Rib Rack, and it's a nice clean pork rind. Really, really good tasting too. And then there's another one that I use for like doing breading and stuff when I'm doing my pork rind panko. I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, it's a really nice clean one. It's cooked in pork fat, which is good. So it's crazy to me when they take a pork rind and fry it in vegetable oil. That makes literally no sense to me. Like, okay, I don't want that. All right. So as far as the meats are concerned, I'm eating all the meats. I'm eating my beef and my pork and my chicken. In fact, I had when you guys see my video from today, I had 3 things on my plate. So I had a main dish, which I guess would be the ground beef. Then I had 2 sides. One was a smoked sausage, which was super, super good. Really clean smoked sausage. I think it's called I can't think of the name of it. I'll put the link to it though in the chat. And then I had a piece of chicken off of a rotisserie chicken. So those were the 3 things that I had on my plate. It makes me feel like I'm well-rounded. It makes me feel like I'm well-rounded when I eat to have 3 things. When I grew up, you guys, I don't know how y'all grew up, but we grew up with 3 things on the plate. So it was a meat, and then two sides. It was a starch and a vegetable. And so, sometimes I feel like I need to have 3 things on my plate. And it's probably just from how I grew up. All right. So I'm making wings and meatballs. So I will have something to eat. Smart move. I might stop by and get some shrimp. I almost bought some today just to bring with me and just have it for myself. So Mary is saying, I used to do OMAD, but now I'm doing 18-6. Works better for me. I use rib rack pork rinds as well on occasion. They're really good. But again, I do minimize the amount of pork rinds that I eat. I don't eat them all the time. So it's kind of like a treat. I will eat it with my meal though, because I don't snack. Do you guys do any snacking? I literally try not to snack at all. If I'm going to eat, I'm just going to go ahead and eat the meal. And I don't do any snacking. All right. So Calparina is saying, here's a question. What is the stuff in the black can you put in your coffee? It's called Keto Brains Nootropic. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick and show you guys what that looks like. I got my phone in my hand so that I have my make sure that I don't forget anything, but I will pull this up for you and show you what this is. All right. Oh, it's trying to make me. I'm just going to show you the website here. All right. Okay. Keto Brains Nootropic. This is a coffee creamer. And I really, really like it. So when I went to Hack Your Health last year, I picked up some of this Keto Brains Nootropic. They had a booth at Hack Your Health. It's not carnivore, okay? It's got alpha GPG, it's got L-theanine, it's got lion's mane mushroom, and C8 MCT oil. So what I did was I did a 30-day trial of this with the bag that I got while I was at Hack Your Health. And I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a month on, and then I'll do a month off. After 5 days, I brought this back in. This is a nootropic. So what it does for your brain is like, oh my gosh, it's so, so good. It really helps me with that mental clarity. It helps me with focus. And it makes my brain feel amazing. So one thing about this though, is that of course it has the lion's mane mushroom. So it has 4 carbs. And I still call myself a carnivore, even though I use this. Okay, carnivore, please don't come for me. And it has the MCT oil in it. So it really helps with that brain function, with that cognition. It's really, really good. So this is in a black jar, which they do sell as well. Let me see if I can see it. I don't know if I can find it really. Oh, here it is right here. So that is the jar that I have. And so when I'm doing my coffee in the morning, I'm showing you guys my Keto Brains nootropic in that. It's called a Mirin glass jar. It's so beautiful. I'll tell you the problem with this that I don't like about it is the spoon. The spoon is just, there's no place to put the spoon. Like, they should have put something on the side that you can hang that spoon, because the spoon is just like hanging out there. It's just out there. So this is what I use in my coffee. And just to let you know what else I use in my coffee. So there's the Keto Brains nootropic, the iodine, which I use the iodine because we are all deficient in iodine because of the way that our soil has been drained of its nutrients. So according to Dr. Elizabeth Bright, all of us are iron deficient. So I use iodine. I've worked my way up from 2 drops up to 2 droppers full of the 2% Lugol's iodine. So that's 20 milligrams, I think. Each dropper is like 10, I believe. So yeah, I don't really feel any different. People always ask like, okay, so what does the iodine do for you? I don't feel any different with the iodine. But I take it because I know I'm likely iodine deficient. When I get my labs drawn here coming up in April, I will hopefully be able to see my levels. I'm not sure if they do iodine as part of those blood panels. So that's 2. Then I use ghee, which is the butter that I've rendered down and gotten the milk fat solids off of. I do it brown. I brown that butter and it tastes like caramel toffee. It is so, so good. Absolutely delicious. If you have not tried brown butter in your coffee, you need to try it because it's super good. And then also I use Element electrolytes. So I know that there's controversy around Element. I've been using Element since way before I went carnivore. And, so I really like Element electrolytes, and that's what I use in my coffee. So those 4 things. And generally, I usually do decaf. Lately, I've kind of incorporated a little bit more of the regular coffee back in, but I usually do decaf. And so those are what's in my coffee. And then sometimes I'll do a little bit of stevia too. So that's another thing that could be in there as well. Hey, Jay, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Glad to see you. All right. So let's talk about another thing is the walking challenge. So as part of our Hey Sister Girl group, we are doing a walking challenge. It's on the Challenges app. And I'll try to put a link in the description box below so that you can, if you want to join us in the walking challenge, you challenging yourself. So we're all like super competitive. I don't know, we're kind of crazy, but we're all really competitive. So we're like, who's at the top of the leaderboard? But you're challenging yourself. So it's 14,400 steps a day that you are trying to accomplish. I can tell you that taking 14,400 steps a day shows your body that you are a mover. You're definitely a mover. You're not a sedentary person. Because I'll tell you though, 14,400 steps a day takes me an hour and a half of good, quick pace walking. So that's like, I'm sitting at my desk all day. A lot of times I'll stand at my desk, but I wasn't getting a lot of movement. I was getting like maybe 2,000 steps a day, 3,000 steps a day, particularly when it's cold outside and I'm not going out doing walk and talks and stuff. So adding that 14,400 steps a day has done so much for my body and for my sleep. So we're going to talk about cortisol in a little bit, but the walking challenge has been very profound. So if you're interested in being a part of that, then you can click the link. It's going to be in the description box, and join the walking challenge, and come on and be a part of that. Get those steps up. Get your steps up, especially if you're sedentary. I know some people can't do 14,000 steps a day. Like my mom, she doesn't want to do 14,000 steps a day. Do what you can. Challenge yourself to move more than what you were moving. What I will say about the movement is that it really has enhanced what I'm doing with my eating. So the eating is 80%, but still there's that 20%. And I want to just quote the scripture that says, bodily exercise profits a little. I think that's in one of the Timothys. Bodily exercise does profit a little. It does do something. But the main thing with health is going to be the food. What are you eating? What are you allowing into your body? Did you reduce or eliminate processed foods? That's probably the biggest thing, is to get rid of the processed foods, and eat real whole food. Yeah, so that is the deal with that. Okay, so we got a couple comments here. I made ghee for the first time the week after the live. Good. Yes, G did make ghee on the live stream. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago, I think. And you just put that butter on the stove on low and let it cook. Don't stir it. Don't do anything to it. Just let it cook until it turns brown. And like the milk solids on the bottom will be brown and it'll smell nutty. You can smell it. It smells like caramel. It's so, so good. Cat Diamond, I love Element. I do not like salty. I've tried salty. In fact, I met them at Hack Your Health last year. And I bought a bunch of it. They do have some chocolate ones that I like, but the texture of it is really fine, and powdery. I like the Element better than the salty. So I've just stuck with Element. My husband likes Element, and so that's the one that I enjoy. So, and then you can always get, if you don't want to have the little small bit of maltodextrin that's in the Element, you can always get the unsweetened, just plain Element salts, or they have a carbonated water that is really good, but does not have the maltodextrin in it. So I know that they're working to get that out. So I'm not sure what their timeline is for getting that out. But they're a great company. I hate to cancel them, so I'm just not planning on doing that. Okay. So the walking challenge. What about exercise other than that? I am working on a Couch to 5K challenge. I took a week off this past week because I tweaked my knee. My knee was bothering me. And so when the knee is bothering me, I don't want to run. So I took a week off from my training for Couch to 5K. I do intend to get back to that 3 days a week, starting on Monday next week. Watch for my videos and I will let you know what I'm doing. You'll see if I'm doing it or not. But I'm hoping to be able to get back to it after taking a week off and just resting the knee. What's really, really exciting for me, you guys, is the fact that I'm running at all with my knee the way that it is. My right knee is bone on bone, no cartilage. Last year, I went and got a cortisone shot into it because it was bothering me so bad. And this year, I'm running again, which is incredible. Like, yay for me. I'm super excited that, I'm running, a minute, I'm running a 90 seconds and it's working for me. So I'm happy, very, very happy to be doing that. So that's the Couch to 5K. And then my husband and I got a weight machine. And so I'm trying to do a little bit of lifting, particularly with my leg, my bad one, to strengthen the muscles around that knee. I'm doing a lot of walking workouts. So sometimes if I'm doing a walking workout, I will post those videos in my description box so that you guys can check out, see who I'm walking with. So there's a number of different folks that I'm walking with, but lately I've been walking with a lady named Ingrid. She has a really awesome set of 10,000 step walking workouts where you can get 10,000 steps in an hour. That's my expectation. I'm going to walk fast enough that I can get 10,000 steps in 1 hour because I want to get all my 15,000 steps done in an hour and a half. And so if you're walking at a pretty good pace, then you'll be able to get your 10,000 steps in an hour. So her name is Ingrid, and she's got a lot of videos, like really, really good. I really enjoy working out with her. There's another girl named Jo. Her channel is called Grow with Jo. She has some really good ones. If you like, doing workouts to like gospel music or Christian music, she does those. And then Get Fit with Rick. I love Get Fit with Rick because Rick is looking at the cruise ships behind him. He's got the water behind him. It's super, super nice. I really, really love working out with Rick. And then there's also a guy named Mr. London that I work out with who has some really great standing workouts. And he does a lot of like, if y'all know what a fupa is, like the Dunlap, I think Dr. Berry calls it the Dunlap, where your belly done lapped over. Your belly done lapped over? Yeah. So he's got some workouts that target that area. And I know that area can be problematic for a lot of us ladies, and I'm sure guys too. I don't know if y'all got Dunlap or the fupa, they call it. And so some of those workouts are just really, really good. So I try to put those links in the description box for you guys in case you want to try them. One question I do have for you guys, and you can let me know, I've really been thinking about doing some workouts myself, like doing some workouts with music that my son made so that I can do the workout, the complete full workout, and you would have my workout video that you could work out to. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. And if so, I'm going to plan on putting something like that out. All right. The running is great. I'm so happy to be running again, you guys. I did a 5K probably about 15 years ago now. I did a 5K and then I promptly stopped running right after that. So I'm excited to get into doing another 5K, especially this year. I mean, I will be 59 on my birthday. So if I'm still running at 59, I'm going to feel really, really good about that. And if I'm running at 59, I can still be running at 60. So I'm super excited about it. Let's see. So I want to talk about reducing cortisol. So cortisol is like a stress hormone, and it can cause your sleep to be interrupted. And I have had a lot of trouble sleeping for a long time. In fact, I was talking to my daughter, and she was saying that her sleep is trash also. So I'm working to try to do some better things with my sleep hygiene. One problem that I have is I use my phone right up till time to go to bed. I do have like a blue light filter on it to turn the blue light down, but yet and still, I know that that's probably not really the best. you really need to be turning that phone off or leaving it alone for like at least an hour before going to sleep. I was using ashwagandha, but I was using an ashwagandha gummy, a sugar-free ashwagandha gummy. So I have not been using that because by the time I get ready to take it, I'm in my fasting window and I don't want to take a gummy. So I need to get like maybe an ashwagandha pill, which is supposed to help reduce cortisol. I didn't really notice any difference. To be honest, I took it for a couple of months. I didn't notice any difference in my sleep patterns. So I'm not sure about ashwagandha. And then the other thing is now that I'm doing this walking challenge, if I can do 5,000 steps before bed, not super fast paced, but if I can do like 5,000 steps before bed, it helps me sleep. So I was thinking, if you walk in the evening before you go to sleep, you're going to like ramp yourself up and you won't be able to sleep. That's not actually how it's working out for me. It actually is helping me sleep to get those 5,000 steps before bed. So I try to do all my 10,000 steps early in the day. I'll do 5,000 in the morning. This is my preference. 5,000 in the morning, 5,000 in the afternoon, 5,000 before bed, and then I sleep pretty okay. My problem is not with falling asleep. I fall asleep really, really easily, but I keep waking up through the night. So when I get those steps before bed, it seems to really help. So I'm going to be trying to work on reducing my stress, reducing my cortisol level, and seeing if I can get some additional improvements in my sleep. Do you guys ever listen to like bedtime stories? Sometimes I'll listen to there's an app called Abide on YouTube that has like people reading the scriptures and stuff. And so sometimes I'll listen to that. Sometimes I'll listen to a bedtime story. Sometimes I like to listen to like rainfall or storm or ocean while I'm falling asleep. And that stuff really does help sometimes, but I still find myself waking up a lot of times during the night. So, yeah, so this is basically what I've got planned for this month. Just going to kind of recap. So I'm going to continue on with my fasting, daily intermittent fasting, 16 to 24 hours, and eating my one meal a day early in the day, between 11 and 3. And then basically skipping a meal at the dinner hour. That really, really works for me. I feel like I can easily fast through the night. Even if I eat at 11 in the morning, I can easily continue my fast until tomorrow. So if you're having trouble fasting, try it that way. Instead of eating like late, if you're able to. I mean, I know that everybody's schedule is not conducive to this, but if you're able to, instead of eating late, try eating early and then fasting through dinner. I think it would really work. So the OMADs, I'm reducing the dairy. I'm really going to try to keep the cheese to a minimum. I cannot promise I'm not going to have cheese because I like cheese. I'm just going to minimize it. I'm not going to be doing the heavy cream. I'm not going to be doing like a lot of dairy products. No, like very little butter. Today I ate like probably a tablespoon of butter with my dinner. So as opposed to when I was doing the butter, I would have a half a stick of butter with my dinner. So that was too much. I couldn't do that. Continuing on with the walking challenge, 14,400 steps. Let me know if you want to be a part of that. And then working to reduce my cortisol and get better sleep. So do you guys have any questions? Like, what questions do you have for me? I just want to encourage you, come into the comments, share what you guys are doing for your February. Are you doing a challenge? For me, I feel like challenges really help me to stay motivated, which is like, when I look at my Zero app and I turn that fasting app, I know like, yes, I'm done eating for the day. It's a challenge for me. The walking challenge is really great for me. And then, of course, I got my whole list of things my whole list of things to do. The question is, do you have to have Facebook to join the walking challenge? You do not. You do not have to have Facebook to join the walking challenge. The app is Challenges, the Challenges app. I'm going to go ahead and just give you the code that you need to get into this challenge. Hold on one second. Well, let's see. Okay, so the Challenges app, and I'll see if I can show you what it looks like on my phone. That's what it looks like on my phone, that little green one. It's called Challenges. And then the code for this month is 89VV. I'm going to put it in the chat. 89 with two lowercase v's, like that. And yes, you do not have to be a member of the Hey Sister Girl group on Facebook in order to join that challenge. We would be so happy to have you. It does connect to your Apple Watch or your Fitbit or your iFit app, whatever it is that you have that you're tracking with. So I think you can even, if you had a pedometer, I think you can even go in and enter your how many steps you took in a day. So I would love to have you there. So let's see, what else did I have to mention to you guys? Yeah, so next week I will be back again. I will have a guest on the show next week. Her name is Terry Carver, and I'm super excited to meet, have you guys meet her and hear her story. She's a great lady, and I really enjoy her. I enjoy her friendship. So I'll come back next weekend, Saturday night, 5:30 Eastern time, and meet Terry. And I will be continuing to put my videos out as much as I can. I took a little bit of a rest from it last week. Sometimes getting the video out almost every day can be a little bit overwhelming. I'm sure you guys can imagine, trying to go in and get those videos together. It's a little bit challenging. So, and plus I did like a series of videos over the summer that were unedited. I'll probably do that again in the summer when we're doing a lot of walk and talks and things like that. But now that I'm in the house, I don't want to just put out any old thing. So I'm trying to put a video together for you guys that makes some sense, and so, so I took a little bit of a break last week, but I've got some videos coming this week. I'll be showing you guys what I'm eating in a day, of course. And then I have some other things that are coming up for you guys as well, some CarnivorousGrama Speaks stuff. So, yeah, so that is it for the night, you guys. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for coming and be a part of the CarnivorousGrama family. You guys make my day. You make me so happy coming in and getting a chance to talk with you guys. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. Come back next weekend, and I'll see you here next Saturday, same place, same time, for CarnivorousGrama Speaks Women of Wisdom series. Have a great night.